do they obey rules and regulations? The citizens. Why do they obey rules and regulations? One of the reasons is what? Peace and coexistence. Peace and coexistence. Peace and coexistence. People in the society decide to obey the rules and regulations because in any given society there must be rules and regulations binding. There must be what we call law. That's why we have Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The moment after one's tenure in a political system, the new system will now find a way to define the new constitutions when there's need be. And when there's need be to continue with the old one, then the new system will now continue with the old one by giving a pass mark. Okay. Because the Constitution is a body of law that control. And where there is law like that, people will comply with the rules and regulations. A situation where there is peace and coexistence, that means things are being done the way it ought to have been done. Everybody can go out anytime they want to go out, and they can now come in anytime they want to come in according to the law of that nation. Two, is what? Fear of sanction. Why people obey the law? One is the fear of sanction. If the law is not being obeyed, the moment there is a constitution regarding or with reference to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, or there is a law guiding a particular environment, and one behaves anyhow against the law, he will be made to face the wrath of the law. The moment one violates the law will get hold of that person, question the person, challenge the person at the appropriate quarter, and the person will be made to face the wrath of the law. Because we have structure in the system. We have organs of government that protects or take care of each of these issues. Meanwhile, every citizen, every wise citizen would like to be afraid of sanction. Because if you misbehave, if you commit an offense or you commit criminal offense, you will be taken to where it is not needed for a human being to be kept. But if a human being should be kept in a place like ordinary animal, like goats, sheep, that means it's a shame to even the family, not only himself, and it's undesirable attitude. Meanwhile, fear of sanction is one of the reasons why citizens obey the law. Number 3, there's what we call civil obligation. In a society, there's what we call call civil obligations. That is a very society where everybody always come together to participate and do things together, reason together, understand together. You know, when we talk about political system, we say when people come together, unanimously agreed to appoint or to elect somebody to be a leader. So we now believe that in any society or in any organization or establishment, whether it is in private or it is in public, there must be a follower and there must be a leadership. Where we have leadership, we must have follower. Where we have a leader, followers are there. We cannot have leader all through. If everybody becomes leader, who will be followers? And if all followers are leaders, who will now become a leader, leading each other? You are a leader, I am a leader, any other person is a leader. Who will now become follower or followers? And if all of us are followers, who will now become a leader? A situation whereby we have a follower, we have a leader, or we have followers and we have leaders. Leaders will now lead us. And there is an agreement that they must do the right thing. And if the right things are not being done, there is a process to right the wrong. So in this sense, we have what we call civil obligations. Civil obligations is one of the reasons why we obey the law. And obeying the law is also good. Fourth is respect and unity. When citizens are able to obey the law, it's a kind of giving respect to the rule of law. And where there is respect, people are always united. People understand. The level of mutual understanding is high. That's why there is respect. And if there is respect, things will be done at ease. There will be peace. And everybody will now be afraid of doing bad things. Nobody would like to go into bad. Even though people would like to go into bad things, might be few. Majority will not. And bear in mind that respect is not afraid. So these are the reasons why citizens obey the law. Let us take these few. They are up to 6, 7, 8. But let us just jot down this and take care of it. Now, please be very comprehended as we are moving fast so that we can cover a little bit before the next class. Another one is why people participate in political office. Why people participate in political office? Why participating in political office? Let's put the question very short so that everything will be fast-tracked. Why participating in political office? Why is it that people want to become a leader? Not ordinary leader, political leader. When we are talking about ordinary leader and a political leader, there is a great difference between political leader and ordinary leader, just as we have explained at the beginning. A political leader is a leader that is generally acceptable by people, appointed or elected by people, and have a binding decision that affecting all the society. not a leader that describe himself or using his own money to go and say I am a leader on this so that he can be recognized because he has the money to buy that agreement, that paper, but people do not respect or regard him as a leader. One, honor. People like respect, ego. That's why sometimes when you see some governors leaving their state for another state, even moving within the capital territory or within their state headquarters, they are always moving with alarm. Alarm will be blowing, indicating that the senior citizen or VIP is coming. The chief security of the state is moving around. Because of that ego, because of that honor, people want to be recognized. People want to be seen as the best, the highest person in the society, in the region, in the state, in their town or in the local government. So that's why some people personally want to vie for a political position. Always like to be at the corridor of power because of recognition. They want to be at the center of power, self-centered. That's why we have honor here. Honor. People like to go into politics because of the honor. The moment you have won an election, automatically everybody in that state, as being a state governor now, will vow, will bend down for you, will always like to see you, always like, if you have the opportunity, always like to come near you for one favor or the other. Two, wealthy. Some people want to contest to become a political leader because they want to become a wealthy man. They want to enrich themselves. Some persons personally decided to go and contest, and they contested because he wants to get money. If he is able, or if he had put in about 10 million or 20 million, definitely before the end of the tenure, he must come back home with 500 million naira in his account or in his box. So in this case, he has made, aside some other investments, property he has here and there. These are the reasons why some of our people always like to participate in a political power. Three, why some like what we call representative. Some are interested to contest, to right the wrongs. Some have the ambition to contest so that they can represent the interest of the society, so that they can do the needful for the people. When I'm talking about a good representative is that type of representative that is transparent, that is accountable, that is responsible. You can't go and represent somebody without being a responsible fellow. A responsible man is only a good man that can represent another person. And you being responsible, you must be honest. You must not be biased. If it is 500,000 they give you, you must come back to where you need to report and tell them that it's 500 naira they gave you. That means you are honest. You are transparent. Because having given you that money, you have not diverted that money to another different account. But there are some certain type of people that they are always good in conversion. They are always good in diversion, different from what the contract or the agreement says. Those type of people are not representative. They are there for their own selfishness. They are there for their own selfishness. In another development, some politicians, some people want to lead because of what we call for ego. Apart from honor, as we said before, though we use ego to explain honor, but they are not the same. When we are talking about ego, the moment somebody has ego, even when you die, even when the person dies, the name must be put in records as a heaven. Heaven. Like now we have Alhaji Usman Ali Sheikh Shagari, the late president, the former late president Alhaji Sheikh Usman Ali Shagari. So forever and ever, we can never forget his legacy. We can never forget his name, because he had once been the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria before he died. Likewise to Abacha. By and large, he was the former head of state and commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He's a hero. When we're talking about the former leaders, his name must be there. He has his own contribution. Before he became the head of state, he does not emerge from or through magic. He started from somewhere. Despite that, what he did when he became the head was not to the best of the society. But by and large, he was the former leader of Nigeria. So these are what some people want. Even when they are alive, the ego is there. And even when they are even dead, they still see them as heroes. So from this, we move down to further division of political leader. Or no, authority. But before we talk of authority, let us further division of a political power. At the beginning of our discussion, we were able to discuss about the various types of a political power. Now, aside those divisions we have treated in the past, we want to further divide the power into two. We have what we call potential power and actual power under political power. Potential power and actual power. What do we mean by potential power? We discussed in the past, as I have earlier said, or as I have been mentioning, economic power, expert power, normative power, private power, charismatic power. That one are passive. But now, aside those ones we have listed before, we have further divided power into, or classified power into potential power and actual power. Potential power is the power given to someone to lead who could not utilize the power as expected to be. It's like having the ability to become a leader and you don't have the sense of leading. It's now known as what? Potential. If you are potential, it's like you have the certificate but you cannot practice it. It's like you are still not qualified. There are a lot of things you need to pass through. Such is known as what? Potential. A good example of potential aside this power is, let us use academic example. Somebody goes to university to read what we call accountancy, or somebody goes to university to go and read the law. After the completion of 4 or 5 years, either in accountancy or in law, you were given certificates, a degree certificate in accounting, or you were given certificates in law, but you have not gone to law school, Nigerian law school, where you will be called to bar and become a barrister. But what you were given from the school is LLB. But law school give BL, barrister at law. You who is from University of Ife with LLB without BL from law school, you are a potential lawyer. You cannot defend. You cannot exercise your power in court. And what is the essence of becoming a lawyer? You have your degree in accountancy, but you cannot practice accounting because you are not a chartered accountant. You have your bachelor degree in administration, but you cannot practice your degree as an administrator. because we are not a chartered administrator. So likewise to potential power. A potential power is a leader who has been given the legitimacy to become a leader but has no power to exercise his position. Such is known as potential power. You have the power already, but you cannot exercise the legitimate. So actual power is that type of leader who actually can exercise his or her power according to the law. So from this example, I use academic to explain, and I use politics to explain too. So these are the two classifications of potential power and actual power. So from this, we can now move to what we call authority. Since we started introduction to political analysis, all our discussion has been on power, politics, power. All is about what? Government and politics, power. But now, or today, we want to do something about authority. When we are talking about power, don't forget, authority is there. You cannot exercise power without authority. We cannot exercise authority without power. How can you enforce power without authority? And how can you exercise authority without power? We are going to learn about it, and we must understand it today. What is power? Power is the moral right to decide judgments, policies, issue of commands, action, and settlement of conflicts in a society. What did I say? Authority means the moral rights of a leader, of a person, to decide judgments, policies, issue of commands, action, and settlement of conflict in a given society. When we talk about authority, authority is a legal backup which stands for power. Because of the office. What is office? Constitution. The legal framework of the legislative arm, which must be interpreted by the judiciary and implemented by the executive to form a complete government. And the government must be a government of legitimacy with what we call political autonomy. Sovereignty. Any government of legitimacy must have the sovereignty to command and to control. Authority means legal. Authority means law, the right thing to be followed. Is the authority that gives backing to power. I have the power to beat Samuel, but the authority is not there because the authority says I have no power to beat Samuel. Even though Samuel was the first person that beat me, to beat Samuel back, I am wrong because of the authority. If Samuel beats me, I have to go and report Samuel to the appropriate quarter, where enforcement will be taken against him, where legal action will be filed or proceeding or litigation against him. We call it authority. After this authority, if we are able to know about this authority, the next is political authority. Political authority. When we talk about political authority, we are talking about the power, the right to make a binding decisions and affecting the whole society. If you have the authority, the legal right to make a decision, and the decision made by you will affect the entire society, that means you have what we call political authority. The legal backup is there. The legality is there. It's rightful. It's moral. You work with what we call moral ethics. The last we are going to treat before any other